Second graders, today you will learn about the artist Romero Britto, and he is a pop artist who uses imagery or pictures of things that we might be familiar with. Today you are creating a landscape inspired by Romero Britto, and a landscape has a few specific things. The first thing is a horizon line. The horizon line is where the sky meets the ground. So to start out our landscape drawing, we're going to grab a piece of tagboard and write our name, Miss G, and your class code. I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to start by drawing my horizon line. Now your horizon line could be wavy, your horizon line could be straight. Think about some horizon lines that you may have seen before. I'm going to draw mine wavy. My next thing that my landscape needs to have is some ground. I'm going to divide my ground up kind of like a quilt so that I can fill it next week with some different patterns. So 1 line, 2 lines, 3 lines. You need at least 3 lines to divide up your ground. My next step is to think about my sky. Some things I could draw in the sky might be a sun, maybe it's a nighttime landscape and I could draw some moon, maybe I draw clouds. My sun is going to kind of be peeking up over the horizon line like it's just setting or just rising, and I'm going to draw some simple rectangles to show the rays of the sun. I'm always drawing light until I get it right, so in case I make a mistake, I can always erase. Now, if I'm the number 3 person, I need to get out a blue tray filled with paints for my table. I'm grabbing 1 of each color from the paint drive-thru as well as water and a paintbrush. If I get to my spot and I notice there's not enough of one color, I'll just raise my hand quietly and ask for some paint refills. Now, in each of my shapes, I'm going to draw or paint with a different color. I like to start with the lightest color first. That means I'm going to start with the sun, and I'm going to paint the sun yellow. Even though Romero Britto is painting with these wild colors, he still makes it a little bit realistic. So pick out a few spots in your landscape that you're going to stick with real colors. Now, if you're worried about painting and getting a little bit of paint on the table, grab yourself a messy mat at the drive-thru so that you can get all the way to the edge while you're painting your shapes. When I am painting, I dip the toe of my ballerina brush in the paint and I paint back and forth to paint in the shapes. If I'm going to mix colors, I need to make sure that my paintbrush is clean and I am mixing on my paper. I'm not going to mix too many though. I think I'm going to just use paint straight out of the cup. Alright, I'm ready to switch colors. I'm going to start by painting my ground. So I'm going to have my paintbrush ballerina bounce in the cup, gentle, gentle. If there's still yellow on the brush, I'm going to bounce some more. And if she drips, I wipe her on the lip. Okay? I can also use a blue rag from the sink to dry off my paintbrush ballerina. I'm going to switch colors, maybe use some red in my ground. So I dip the toe of my ballerina brush in the paint, and I paint back and forth to paint in my ground. I'm going to paint each one of the different shapes in my ground another color. Back and forth, outlining my shapes. If you notice that the paintbrush ballerina gets a little scratchy like that, that means that he or she is thirsty and needs more paint. So just dip a little bit more and paint back and forth, so that you have a nice solid color. Alright, I need to clean her off. Into the hot tub she goes to bounce around. Gentle, gentle. If she drips, wipe her on the lip or on the blue rag. I'm going to paint each one of these shapes a different color, and I'm even going to paint the sky. Second graders, when you have that done today, you are going to carry your painting flat like a lunch tray over to the drying rack to put it in to dry. I can't wait to see these awesome landscapes, second grade.